Wealth motivation. This is Mark Hill. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. You know, there's a verse in Proverbs that talks about how a rich person can pretend to be poor forever. A rich person can pretend to be poor forever, but a poor person can only pretend to be rich for so long. A poor or middle class person can fake like they're rich only for a short time. Eventually, the time for trying to look rich and faking like they're rich will eventually run out. Have you ever drove through a middle class or a poor neighborhood, and you'll see old luxury cars, old foreign luxury cars, or old American Cadillacs, and Lincoln luxury cars, like 5, 10, 15 years old. See, those cars are meant to be, those aren't classic cars. Old luxury cars are meant to be turned in, maybe leased for about 3 or 4 years, and turned back in and lease a new one. For somebody who's well to do, or for someone with a high net worth. But when you see those old cars in those middle class neighborhoods, that means that they were trying to fake being rich. They were trying to look rich at some point in their life, and then the time ran out because they couldn't afford to turn it back in and get the new model. So they just holding on to that memory, to that ego, and they might park the 10 or 15-year-old luxury car in the backyard or the side of the garage or something, just to look at it for nostalgia purposes, like a extension of the personality. And that's what gets a lot of people in trouble with blocking themselves from becoming wealthy, because many, because they're spending all their energy, all of their resources on trying to look rich when that money could be spent on actually getting rich. Like right now, this is not investment advice, but just my opinion. If someone bought Bitcoin or the S&P 500 or just even Apple or Microsoft stock, instead of spending 60, $70,000 on a luxury car, if someone spent 60 or 70,000 on Bitcoin, Apple, or Microsoft, I guarantee you, almost guarantee you, 5 years from now, they would have doubled or tripled their money. They'd have that 70,000 would have turned into 150 or 200,000. But if that person goes out and spends 70 on that luxury car, that 70 grand, 5 years from now, that car will be worth 15 grand. Guaranteed to go to zero. All because of ego, all because that car. See when you're younger and when you're broke, you care about what people think. You're self-conscious. You have an ego. You want people to think that you're doing well in life. So you automatically get a brand new or a car that's more luxury than you can afford, and you try to project to the world that you've made it with this symbol, with this trinket of success. But it's actually a trinket that will keep someone in poverty. Because when you actually get rich and you actually mature, you care less and less what people think. And I won't say get older because a lot of people get older and they don't mature. But when you mature and get wiser and you actually accumulate real money where you can afford any car you want, some people are car enthusiasts. Some wealthy people do buy luxury cars. But if you're not a car enthusiast, you don't care about impressing anyone. So the more you get, the more money you actually get, the less you want luxury cars. And you tend to continue to you keep those frugal habits, you keep that investment mindset that got you to becoming rich in the first place. See, once you get rich, you don't throw away those frugal habits, that investment mindset. You want to protect your wealth even more. We can look at some of these billionaires here. I mean billionaires, true wealth. This is true wealth. 50 billion. Michael Bloomberg has a $30,000 Chevy Suburban. One of the Google founders, Sergey Brin, $30,000 Toyota. Mark Zuckerberg, billionaire, $30,000 Acura. Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, the Los Angeles Clippers, $25,000 Ford. Jeff Bezos drove a Honda Accord. Jack Ma drives a $15,000 car. One of the Walmart heirs, $8,000 pickup truck. The list goes on and on. You can see Zuckerberg's Acura right there. Who's this lady? Another Walmart heir with an old Ford SUV. The Clippers owner's Ford car. Warren Buffett's old Cadillac. I mean, these people who can afford Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis, whatever. But that shows you that's not real. When you see the Lamborghinis, the Rolls Royces, those supercars like that, or even when you just see general anything luxury on the road, 90% of those people can't afford that. They're just making payments that's well over 50% of their take-home pay, check to check, trying to have an image. And then the super cars, the Bentleys, the Rolls Royces, those are used as marketing props. A lot of internet marketers, Instagram marketers, when you see a Rolls Royce or they're using that car to market themselves to sell a product. The average everyday person with real wealth doesn't indulge in that nonsense. Now, if you're a car enthusiast, go ahead and knock yourself out, but it's mostly ego driven. Most people aren't supercar drivers or real enthusiasts like that. Look at this. If you ever go to some of these private jet airports, these smaller airports, these executive airports around the country, you have to have real wealth to ride private jet. Average private jet is $6,000, $7,000 per hour. So you go from New York, you go from Chicago to LA, you're looking at $30,000 one way. Round trip, that's about a $50,000, $60,000 trip from Chicago to LA. So you're talking real wealth. And if you ever go to one of these airports, just look outside, watch them land, watch the people get out. You won't see Rolls Royces or Bentleys pulling up to pick up these people getting off of the private jet. Because the real wealth, the truly wealthy don't care about that. So don't get suckered in. Don't fall for the marketing. Don't give away your money on luxury cars that won't matter, that don't matter. Think like the billionaires when it comes to your choice of car. Because that's one of the biggest obstacles that's going to keep you or that keep most people from being able to invest is that big fat luxury car payment. And if you are a car enthusiast, I promise, once you really get rich, cars get better and better every year. 5 years from now, your favorite car to now is going to look ugly compared to where it's going to look in 4 to 5 years from now. So the new hot car isn't going anywhere. It's still going to be there when you get rich for real. Still going to be hot cars available when you become a millionaire. I promise you. They're not going to run out of hot cars for you to buy. So remember, it's all about getting rich, not just looking rich. It's wealth motivation.